Hi everybody, it's Jen here with another Project Life video. I have this one sped up super fast, and it's in a whole bunch of little clips. So I apologize if this makes you dizzy, but it was just one of those ones where this took me forever, or it seemed like it took me forever, and I got interrupted like 1,000 times when I was trying to get this done. But what I did to help a little bit is I just took out the process of me picking cards. So these cards are all from the Heidi Swapp Picturesque kit. I think it's a core kit, and they just matched with the photos. These are from Hawaii. And my original thought was I was just going to use one of these tags on each of these photos to sort of pull them together because they're all quite different, even though most of them have, that blue Hawaii blue in them. But I just thought I had this idea to use these tags, and they've been in my stash for forever and ever and ever. And so I thought that would be good. And I'm just going to go through a bunch of the stuff that I have set aside that's sort of summer themed, and I'm just working on putting them on each one of these things. And I went back and forth on leaving this like really unembellished, and then I ended up doing a teeny tiny little embellishment cluster in each one of the photos, and I'm pretty sure I'm happy that I did that. These are the type of photos where really I could have put nothing on them and just done some journaling in the middle, and it still would have been beautiful because the photos themselves. But you know what, I think I just felt like playing with bits and pieces, so this is how it turned out. So this is a whole week of Hawaii. We were there for 10 days. So the first day is on the one that I published last week, the video I did last week. And then the second week is going to be the next video that I put up, the last Project Life. Next Project Life video I put up anyways, although the next layout one will probably also be from Hawaii. So yeah, this is what's going to go in my album along with a couple little layouts. But what I'm actually doing, since you're just watching me try out little bits here, is I'm going to do a Project Life album and get it bound in a book. And I'm hoping that by the time I do this for Christmas presents for our family that we went with, I'll be able to do that right out of the app. They keep saying it's coming, and it's sort of like that Android app that finally happened. Not that I have an Android, but it took so long for the Android app to come. They've been saying about being able to do bound books straight out of the app, so I'm really hoping that will happen. But I'm still actually waiting for photos back from one of the sets of people that we were away with, so I can't even start it because I'm missing, a good third of the photos that I would like to choose from, because it's their perspective as well, right? Because they did different things some days and things like that. So anyways, here you go. I finally stopped messing around with little bits and pieces and starting to put things down. So just like with the tags, I'm actually just trying to use up mostly much older stuff. So that little world epoxy bit is from a really old Dear Lizzie set, and then that We Are Here is also a really old, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. It's one of the kit clubs, and they do some of their own stuff. Gossamer Blue, am I right? That's what that's from, and some of the other sort of non-epoxy puffy stickers, they're all from that same little kit. And then I just pulled out one pack of enamel dots and made myself stick with that. And really, because these photos are, a lot of them are just sort of like blues and greens, but then there's some other colors in there. I just let myself play, and I didn't worry too much about what colors I was using. There's yellow, and there's red, and there's pink, and there's blue, and I didn't worry about it too much. And I think because the photos are all very similar colors, I think it works just fine. So it was kind of fun to not really think too hard about what I was doing and just play. So let me tell you a little bit about each of these photos as we go. So the one I'm working on right now, this is a temple we were on Oahu, and this is a temple that was about 20 minutes away from where we were. We were on the east side of Oahu. That's where we were staying. It's lovely and quiet. There's no resorts, there's no hotels like on the Honolulu, Waikiki side. So we just rented a house. That was what we wanted. We did not want the crazy busy, or at least that's what my husband and I wanted, and we were the ones who helped book the trip. So so that's one of the temples that we went to, and I just used a little camera there and a little geo tag, and then rub-on. That one on the top there, that tree, is a picture that my husband actually took. They stopped on the side of the road on the way back from Costco on one of the days, and that's going to get switched around in there later on, but that's what that's from. So here I made a huge mess on this photo, and I'm probably going to go back and reprint it and just pull the tag off later, but I'm trying to just make it so the tags aren't all going in the same direction, just for a little bit of interest. And I had started out putting it down near the bottom, and I dropped something on that photo, so there's a little bit where it's pulled up, and etc., etc. So there you can see I switched something around there. It just made more sense with the days of the week. That's what I'm looking at right there. Is I have written out what we did each of the days of the week, and I'm putting them in a bit more of a better order, but for some of them I didn't worry too much about the order, just because of where they fit. So yeah, so I'm going to do my title card. Usually I do this first, so I'm totally all over the place with this layout in comparison to what I usually do. But you know what? It was just, I think it was because I was interrupted so many times. I've never had so many little video clips. Like seriously, and this is over the course of like 5 days, because every time I would go to do this, I'd get interrupted. My phone would ring, so it would turn the camera off. The doorbell would go, a kid would come downstairs, my husband would be finished, and we would need to leave for something. So this was one of those days. Right here, I forgot to turn the camera back on, but all I did was pull out a few little bits, stickers for that date card, and I just layered them sort of staggered down on the one side there for that card. I kind of wish I had left it blank, but they're on there now and they're not coming off. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I stuck a sunshine down there, and then I wasn't sure what I wanted to do on that card, so I've stepped away from it, and I'm working on this one down here. So this right here that I'm working on, that's the National Cemetery in the Punch Bowl in Honolulu, and it was just amazing and beautiful, and it was just a gorgeous day. So we spent quite a lot of time there, reading through all of the plaques and the maps, and just looking at the vastness of that. And then that photo of the kids that are laying there, that's the lookout, just sort of at the top of the cemetery. And the kids were tired because, looking at maps and all that stuff for kids it's not particularly exciting. And so they all laid out there, and I thought that was kind of funny photo to capture. So on this one here, what I'm doing is I'm writing on each one of these where it is, but what I did, and I didn't make you watch all of that, is I just stamped out the days of the week and wrote beside them, so it's all in one place, what we did that week, in general. It's not including everything. So this one right here is a walk that we did, a lighthouse walk. This is only about a quarter or third of the way up, and we just took a nice family photo, and just a little wooden clip that says happy, and that tag says together, not forever, happy together. So I covered up the rest of it. I think it said admit one or something on the top of it's like a little ticket. And here I'm just adding a little bit of embellishing here. I'd put the heart on that happy together, and so I wanted to include the hearts in 2 other places, so I decided to go over to that tag because it was quite plain, and I'm going to put a heart in one other place in a minute. So this is actually the view from Diamond Head in Oahu, and I did not actually end up getting to walk up there. Just as we got to the top of the road leading to where the trail starts, my son, which is the picture of me and my son there, twisted his ankle. He had just finished getting over a sprain or a twist, and did it again, and it crunched, and he ended up being fine. I think it was more like the shock of doing it, but he definitely wasn't climbing the trail that day, and so I ended up sitting with him. I really regret not having been able to do the trail, and my husband and I had planned to go back, and we just ran out of time. But I don't do well in the heat, and by the time we finally got up there and walked up the road, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. It was hot, and so I didn't mind terribly sitting with him, but I really had wanted to come back and do it early in the morning when it wasn't quite so hot. I would have felt more comfortable, but c'est la vie, right? That's just what happens, and I still got some beautiful photos out of it. So this journaling tag here is just describing that photo of me and my son and what happened, and then describing a little bit more about that tree picture that my husband took. And then because I had done some journaling there, I decided to finish off this card over here, and I was just writing more about the cemetery and basically what I had just finished talking about to you guys. I just felt like, with it being a bit more of a serious place that we visited, I wanted to write a little bit more. And adding just a little bit more embellishing to the top of that. So I only have one card left. I'm not going to do anything with the flowers. I'm not going to do anything with the Buddha on the far left there. I think that photo stands for itself. It was huge and beautiful. It was I really enjoyed that, the temple there. So I'm having a bit of trouble on this last one, trying to decide what I want to put on it. So I'm going to fiddle a little bit, but I'm going to end up using, and I want to put that heart there too because I wanted to have the 3. So I'm going to use that epoxy off of that Dear Lizzie set that I had, which is really old. Like this might even be like her very first or second collection. I'm going to put that gold word there that says beautiful, and then I'm going to put down this heart, and I'm just popping up the edges of those because that epoxy sits up. And cutting this all off and then writing this in. So this is the palace that's in downtown Honolulu. We couldn't go in. We went on a Sunday, but we got to walk around on the grounds anyways, and then we went to a few other places that day as well, which will get included in the big album that we do. And then I'm just decided that looked a little lonely, so I'm sticking one more phrase sticker in there, and I'm going to put a little geotag and another enamel dot. So here you go, guys. This is the close-ups that you can see. A lot more embellishing than I have been doing, but I just kind of had fun with this one and let myself go for it. You can see that where I did all the stamping there for all the days of the week. That's my sister-in-law and my niece. I like capturing people in there, and then in that picture it's actually my father-in-law and my one son, and I'm not 100% sure who's walking beside my father-in-law. Might be my other son, might be my nephew. There's a picture of us. Some beautiful photo or flowers that my husband got a photo of. And you can see where I stuck that little phrase sticker in there. Love that shot. It's just beautiful. And then the palace. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back again next week. Bye.